From the Media Factory in the south end of Burlington, Vermont, this is 99.3 FM, WBTV-LP Burlington, streaming online at 993wbtv.org. And now, it's time for Steam Lab. The Nerdvana of Geektopia. Each week, we'll explore topics related to science, technology, engineering, art, and the mathematics. Our mission is to entertain, engage, and educate the Burlington community. Wait, no! The
Hello, Philip. How are you?
I'm stoked for this week's show.
Me too. How was your week? How was your week? We haven't gotten a chance to catch up.
It was, it's been a good one.
Yeah.
It's been busy. I am preparing myself to go on a trip next Saturday. I will be taking a group of folks. My wife and I will be leading a trip of people off to Bonaire. Am I saying that right? Is that the correct pronunciation? Okay, I got the thumbs up from my wife. She's sitting out in the studio.
It was like more of a fist up, but
it was a fist up.
Yes.
So yes, we're taking a group of folks, and we're going on vacation. So it's kind of a professional thing, but it's also a vacation. Yeah. So let's be real.
Sounds so fun, man.
Yeah, we're going to do some shore diving. So we're going to talk a little bit about that in the next hour. Diver Debrief at 7:00. Your weekly plunge into the world of scuba. But right now we are Nerdvana of Geektopia.
Yup.
Before we get into our topic, we had our big meeting this past week.
Yeah.
Studio was packed with all these new radio shows. A lot of stuff happening.
Really? Could we have a little rundown?
Yeah, sure.
What happened?
Absolutely.
I'm interested.
There's a new show starting up. I think it's tomorrow or Tuesday. Sheila, you got the schedule out there? There's a schedule out there.
It's weird. It looks like a little questionnaire.
Matrix.
It's so interesting.
Is the Feminist Frenzy tomorrow or is it Tuesday? There's a schedule.
You just mouth it. We can't hear you.
No, don't do that because I can't read it from here. She's
just mouth it.
Yeah, no, just go grab it from her. Oh, jeez. Feminist Frenzy.
Feminist Frenzy. Oh my God.
That's on Tuesday.
So much pressure.
Or Monday.
Oh my God.
In the afternoon.
Sheila.
Just go grab it from her.
Fun,
Holy
fun.
Smokes. I love that you said fun. Wednesday. Oh, it's on Monday. Okay, great.
Monday at what time?
So there's a new show. It's called Feminist Frenzy.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I just stole it from you.
No, it's okay. It's fine. You can announce it anyway.
Okay.
You're the head honcho. I get it.
Monday at 5 p.m. And there's another show right before that. Well, not another book. It's another show. And it's called Write the Book with Shayla. Not Sheila. Shayla. Yes.
It's a nice name.
Yeah, and she's been doing the show for a long time. I suggest you check that one out. But here's something really cool.
Yeah.
So we have a show called Folk Talk with Rick Pagliari, and he's on before us. And last week, they did a special show on the Golden Record. Do you know the Golden Record?
I don't. That sounds interesting. I mean, isn't when you sell... I'll let you explain it.
The Golden Record was a record.
Yeah.
Because this is how people used to play music.
How I still play music, but I'm living like I'm in the 50s.
Yeah, okay, so you're an old man.
Yeah.
So this record was the Golden Record, and it was aboard Voyager. And so basically, if the aliens ever get the record, then they can play a bunch of cool stuff from Earth. And they did a whole show on it. And the show is being repeated. So Rick's show is going to be repeated on folkmusicnotebook.com at 8 o'clock tonight. So you don't have to miss us at all.
No.
So at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, if you go to folkmusicnotebook.com, you will hear their show on the Golden Record. And the recordings, they played most of them. So pretty cool stuff. Anyways, enough about everybody else.
Enough about everybody else.
This is about us.
This is about us, Philip. You and I, all right?
So what are we talking about here
So
tonight?
this weekend, we're talking about streaming services tonight.
Streaming, yes.
Yes, streaming.
Which on the surface sounds kind of boring.
Kind of, but also it's
not.
a deep world. Interesting stuff. So you have your Netflix, your Hulu, your Amazon Prime, your Vudu, your Sling TV, your whatever, ESPN Plus. So many different things. And which one do you need, or do you need any of them at all? Can you just stay with your regular cable company and just be a slave to your ISP? You know, that's what this show's about. Do you want to switch and cut your cord, or do you want to remain with your cable company?
Oh no, dude! Like cable's done for me.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I've had so many bad experiences with Comcast, and they've changed their name to Xfinity.
It does not.
But it doesn't matter.
You know,
like everyone knows it's Comcast, and they're horrible.
The rebranding worked for Prince, but it doesn't work for you, Comcast.
That's right.
Okay, all right. But you know, it's the thing that I don't like about Comcast and other internet service providers is just like you call them, you ask them for, you know, can you come over and fix this thing? They're like, yeah, I'll be over there tomorrow, and they don't come till.
Well, it's not even that.
3
it's
months.
Just, there's so many.
Later.
Either way, we could get into customer service nightmares, but. To me, when you told me this topic at first, I was like, streaming, whatever. But honestly, it is very fascinating.
Yeah.
And it illuminates almost like the history of the internet. Because as you and I discussed earlier, we talked about this in the car, the internet is all about data and how quickly you can download it, how quickly you have access to that information. And video files... They're big. They're big files.
Yes.
It's a lot of information. It's a lot of data. And so when computers first kind of came out and the internet was like a thing, when I was a kid, it was like you took your phone, like literally a phone on a cord, and you had it hooked up to the computer and you put it on this special modem device. And we go, you know, and it would dial up. Literally, you're dialing a phone number. Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop, boop, right? To get data. And it would scream data at the computer.
It's so interesting. So it makes a noise.
So like if R2-D2 could talk.
What? That's fascinating.
Right.
And like now you just have to press a few things and then you can watch like an entire season of, you know, whatever you want to watch. Stranger Things or something. You know?
Great show.
I thought the third season was okay. I didn't think it was that great.
No, it was okay.
First 2 seasons.
Here's the thing, man.
Yeah.
After 2 seasons, I mean, how far can we go with this show?
It's just,
maybe the 4th season's going to be mind-blowing, but I don't know.
I don't think
they
so.
They kind of jumped the shark.
Kind of weak.
Anyways, we're getting into the wrong thing here.
Yeah, we are.
Okay. So, to me, this is what it's all about, right? So, and then the internet kind of became a bigger thing, early 2000s. And in parallel with the internet, you have this little startup company thing called Netflix, okay? And the way that they started up, and I don't know, I mean, those of you who may not remember this, there might be some younger listeners out there who are like, well, Netflix is, you just go on Netflix.com. Netflix and chill, bro. Is that the wrong usage?
Yep. No, I think it's correct, but I never want to hear those
Wrong
words come out of
context?
your mouth in that context ever again. Phil.
Oh, it's not Netflix and chill, bro?
Bro. Hey, friend. Hey, buddy.
Hey, friend. Let's Netflix and make popcorn.
Hey, pal.
My wife's laughing at me. Am I a fool?
Is this the first time?
She's nodding her head.
Not the first time, not the last.
Honey, what do you say you and I Netflix and chill later?
Do I need to be a part of this? Do I need to be in? Oh, gosh.
She says yes. Great. That's cool.
I'm happy you feel it.
Hey, Star Trek, maybe? Okay, I get the okay symbol. Fantastic.
Star Trek. Good God.
We're nerds, dude.
I mean,
You're on a show called Steam Lab,
show.
and it's Nerdvana of Geektopia,
Yeah,
and I
Star
host it.
Trek's
So
fine.
hello. So so Netflix,
Yeah.
you know, you got the internet. It's coming along. Computers are getting faster, right? Every year they're getting faster. The ability for data to get into computers and out of computers is faster, because that's what we're talking about here. It's data, right? Packing it in.
Data.
And then Netflix comes along, and if you remember, it was a mail service thing. Not a M-A-L-E, but a M-A-I-L.
What is going on with you tonight, Philip?
Well, not like a, like I'm mail service. I'm going to move a
or it could be a
fridge for you.
It could be a mail service.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's not mail for mails. All right, so
okay.
a postal service.
Yeah, okay.
Where you go to the interweb and you pick out, these are the movies that I want to see, right? And you could get like 3 movies at a time. There were no late fees, and they would mail you the DVD.
Which is just mind-blowing.
You would just get it in the mail.
Yeah.
Right?
We'd have to go walk to a video store and then purchase something. Because you would get a late fee.
Right. So you get the DVD in the mail.
Yeah.
From Netflix. Yeah. Yippee, yippee, yippee. Right? You get the DVD in the mail, and then you watch it, and then you're done with it, and then you mail it back. And then when they get it back, they send you another one. There's no late fees. There's no, none of that stuff. Right? It's a pretty handy deal.
It was pretty groundbreaking at the time.
Pretty sweet. Yeah, right. So Blockbuster was a juggernaut of a company. Everyone I have known in my life prior to like your birth time, which is in the 90s, but anyone in my generation, anyone that I've ever known in my generation had a Blockbuster account.
Really?
Absolutely. It's standard. If you want to rent a movie, that's where you went. Now, when I was in high school, there's, of course, regional versions of the Blockbuster. When I was in high school, I worked for Video Update.
Is that like a
That was kind of like a Blockbuster, right? And that was kind of like they were a franchise of video rental stores in Minneapolis, okay? And maybe somewhere else. I don't know. Let me know on Facebook. Facebook.com/SteamLabVT. Send us a message.
Please
Tell me
do.
if I'm right or wrong about the Video Update. But that's where I worked in high school. Great job. So fun, But the amount of money that we would charge, if you wanted to rent a new movie, it was $5 to rent a new movie. And then if you didn't return it the next day, you got charged another $5 in late fees. And whenever you bring your movies back, if you didn't bring them back in time, you had late fees. So that was a big moneymaker for Blockbuster and for these video rental stores, was the late fees. And they had other fees too. Like if you didn't, so the other thing was it was before before DVDs, you had the VCR, and you had a VHS tape, and you had to rewind the tape. And if you didn't rewind the tape, that was another like $1. So they got all these fees, man.
All these fees. But now it's just like a monthly fee for something you can just stream online.
Yeah, there's no fees.
No. There's a fee that you have to pay to act as a library. But besides that, it's just...
So now, the technology has gotten along here such that now you got Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus.
And I feel like they own almost everything.
They do.
Disney owns
the
entire world.
They own ABC.
They own Hulu.
Do they own Hulu?
I think so. Well, it's the package with ESPN Plus and Hulu and Disney Plus. So I imagine they own it.
Do we have that package, honey? No, we don't. We don't have that package.
She's pretending like she can't hear us, but she really can.
Yeah, but she's working. She's studying right outside. Yeah. She's saving lives. Like literally, she's in nursing school.
Yeah.
And the difference between nursing school and med school is doctors are just they're doing all this theoretical stuff. But in nursing school, they're literally saving lives. They're actually with patients.
Your tests are on real patients.
And your tests are on real patients. And you're actually fixing people and doing real work. Doctors are all right, we're going to go to the country club and let's go have some cucumber tea.
That sounds
eat
disgusting.
a finger sandwich. But she's working for us. Anyways, back to
the topic at hand. But
so streaming services, and here's the other thing: everybody's got them now.
Yeah,
so it's not just Netflix, Hulu. I think that we were talking about this in the car. The wrestling now, which used to be like a pay-per-view thing.
Yeah,
you got the WWE network, and then the UFC, the Ultimate Fighter. That's
Fight Pass. Yeah,
Fight Pass.
just so many different
That's right.
subscription services, and
Sure.
I think it works on the same principle that those video rental stores do. Like when if
Yeah.
you forget to cancel or like forget to bring
Yeah, they just
something
keep
back,
charging
that's where
you.
they just keep charging you. They don't,
Right.
they don't care
Right.
at all.
I recommend every 6 months or so just getting a new debit card so that you find out who's really taking your money.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. That happened to my wife too. She was like, "We've been getting charged for this one thing for like a year." Anyways, so that's kind of some background and a little bit of like a story of where we're at and what's happening. But now, Nelson, should I take a quick break for you so that
Sure, I want to put my thoughts together and
you got to think about this.
surmise some things. But yeah,
All right,
awesome.
you want to do some surmising.
Yeah, I think it's a word, but yeah, I do.
All right. Well, we will come right back.
Awesome.
With Nelson the Creator and some streaming online.
Streaming online news and stuff. Just
All
if
right.
should you stream? Should you use cable? You'll find out next. Stay tuned.
Be right back.
We'll be back in a minute.
All of you who love this city, help us protect her. All of you who love this city, help us. The diver was free. The diver was free. All of you who love this city,
Hello,
help us
everybody.
protect her.
Welcome back, one and all.
Welcome back to STEAM Labs,
Okay.
Science, Technology, Engineering, Arts, and Mathematics. And now Nelson is going to give us the 411. How was that?
401k. I'm about to give you the 401k.
Oh, you're going to help us with our retirement
yeah,
package?
exactly. But so many of you have cable, but
Streaming.
streaming.
I
yeah.
think most people don't have cable anymore.
I mean, older folks do. I think.
Ooh, older folks.
ooh.
Oh, if you're listening to this,
Yep.
you're an older folk.
I don't think anyone below the age of 20 is listening to this right now.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. I would say the median.
Thanks.
Median. You're welcome, Philip.
She's nodding her head up and down too. So okay, so
She agrees.
but I do think most folks are getting away from TV. Most
Because-
folks are getting away from cable television. I mean, we don't have it. We cut the cord years ago. We're very happy with that.
Good.
And we have internet, and that's it. And we got some streaming services. That's about it. But yeah, so give me what you got. Hit me with the digits, man.
So when you're considering this, you need to be concerned with the cost of it overall, because it could be cheaper for you to keep with keep with cable, your phone. It's like cellular and in-house Wi-Fi, because like you can bundle those together. But with streaming services, you can't do that. So while the upfront cost of cable may seem more expensive, it may actually be much cheaper by bundling with other services like internet or phone. So you need to consider like how it will affect your total cost per month, because I know certain people that's what they need to prioritize, and that's what they kind of live off of.
What's the bang for
essentially.
your buck, right?
What's the bang for your buck? Yeah. So when you opt out for a streaming service instead of cable, you miss out on these potential bundling deals. So like that's how they keep you there. It's like oh, you could get this for $40 less than you already were receiving it for, and
Right.
that's kind of how they keep you in place with the ISP, and you can't leave, and they can't get it removed from you because
that's the other thing too. So there's a lot of contracts.
Yeah, exactly. You sign a lot of contracts, and that's one big problem with the internet service providers now, is that you are kind of just like, you have to do, everything that, not that they ask you to do, but that's like within their power. You know what I mean? But also, okay, so
I mean, like anything, it comes down to money.
Yeah.
It's money.
It's money.
Right.
All of it, everything's money. It's just there's nothing really around it in terms of like this whole thing. It's money. It's Wi-Fi, which is money, but so you also need to like consider the cost of like the streaming devices. Like if you don't have a smart TV, go out and get one. They're pretty cheap, I would imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Well, I mean that's everybody. Everybody has a smart TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mormon.
But, I mean, we have a smart TV, but we also have a dumb TV.
Dumb
and,
TV.
And the iTV thing, the little gimmick. What is that thing called, Sheila?
Smart TV. What?
No, it's the iMovie, the iTV. What is it called? Apple TV.
Apple TV.
God, I'm an idiot.
Not even close.
Golly, you should be sitting in here. What are you doing out there studying, trying to save the world? Yes, Apple TV.
But yeah, Apple TV is great. But like one thing I like about the old TVs is they have like an AV cable to them, an audio video cable. So like if you want to play, this targets a very small section of people listening to this. But if you want to play like a Nintendo 64 or an Atari 2600 or like some other old video game console, you can't do that on smart TVs because it doesn't have an AV cable.
There are adapters that you
Yeah.
can probably get. I'm sure that they exist. So if you do have the old school video game thing, then you can do that for sure. But so tell me more about this. Keep going, sir.
So, also one things you need to keep in mind the data limits. We were talking about that earlier. So, like streaming HD content uses approximately 1 to 2 gigabytes of data per hour. An internet plan at least at 150 gigabytes per month is usually adequate for the average single viewer. Unlimited plans with decent download and upload speeds tend to be on the pricier side, which I feel like it's becoming more and more cheaper as time goes on.
Of course.
Data because
data.
Data is data.
It really is not that expensive I mean, the whole data thing, honestly, is just a way for people to charge you more money.
Exactly.
It doesn't really cost the internet providers or, like the texting thing, like Verizon, it doesn't cost them more money when it comes to charging you more data. It's just a way for them to gauge it.
And like one thing I also wonder too is like, can we run out of it? Like, do we just create it or
What data?
data? Yeah.
Well, sure. I mean, they have servers that just keep filling them up.
But is it do you think it's ever possible to run out?
No, I don't think so. I mean,
Just an infinite cycle of data?
well, you think about this,
Yeah.
the way that data is stored. I mean, it's just ones and zeros, right? How many ones and zeros can you store on paper? Several, right? And so, like we were talking about this, I think last week. IBM has that new technology where you're not even just saving binary code; it's in other dimensions as well.
Quantum computing.
Quantum
Isn't that
computing.
out of this world. Isn't that
Right.
just so weird? Like, quantum computers were only used by the U.S. government, IBM, and like other huge companies. But now it's becoming more mainstream. Obviously, not everyone has a quantum computer in their house and won't have it for a very long time. But it's becoming more and more of a possibility, which is like
Yes.
insane, right? Imagine having just a computer that can do like a million bajillion math problems
Yes.
in 1 second in your house, which is insane. So the pros of doing streaming services is like a variety of original programming, movies, and other shows.
Oh, well, I mean, I think that's part of it too.
Yeah,
But it's also the commercials. Who wants to watch the commercials?
no one does.
Streaming video, it's very interesting because it's come a long way since the early days of the internet. Because, like I said, it was all dial-up. I just pulled up some data here. In 2006, 57 million people listened to internet radio every week. This is 2006. 57 million people listening to the radio on the internet.
And what's that number at now?
I don't know.
Probably a
I'm sure
lot
it's
less.
Maybe. But people listen to the radio still. People watch more than 1 million streaming videos a day on YouTube in 2006. I would bet that number is infinitely more now.
And also, one thing that's interesting too is the top traditional pay TV companies have lost about 10 million subscribers, and that's going to be the way it is yearly, and perhaps it's going to increase more and more as these streaming services are becoming more and more accessible.
Right.
Which is just absolutely mind blowing.
So, what about the word streaming though? What does that even mean?
Streaming is kind of like, I guess, manipulating data from a server onto your television opposed to loading it off of a disk.
Right.
And there's information on a disk. That information comes from a server and it goes to your goes to your television, computer, iPad, whatever.
And it happens bit by bit.
Bit by bit.
Yeah.
Opposed to like with a CD.
I found a great description online. The word streaming is self-descriptive. Information arrives at your computer in a continuous, steady stream of information. If downloading a movie is akin to buying bottled water, streaming movies is like using a faucet to fill an empty bottle.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. You can compare streaming a movie to watching a VHS tape. When you play a VHS tape, every second, a video and audio is scanned piece by piece. This happens as you're watching in real time, which means that any interruptions will suddenly pause or end your movie watching experience. But the way that streaming works now is that as you're watching it, the streaming is happening ahead of you watching, so that the data is more fleshed out. So you're not actually watching it continuously. You're watching something that's art. It's almost like, to use the water analogy, it's almost as if the streaming is the waterfall and you're in the creek that's further down from the waterfall. Does that make sense?
It does. It does.
Okay. Anyways, sorry, I interrupted you. Continue,
That's
sir.
all right. But I feel like with at least comparing like CDs and DVDs to streaming, I feel like streaming is less reliable than those two avenues. You know, because like with a DVD, you physically scan it and read it. And if there's a scratch on it, there's a scratch on it. So it's not going to work. But with streaming, it's like you have to connect to Wi-Fi, and that Wi-Fi has to
It's
work.
the internet.
And it's the internet. It's the wild, wild west of the internet.
You know, we're streaming right now.
We're streaming right
We're
now.
on
Isn't that
YouTube
crazy?
Live, folks. So if you go to facebook.com/TeamLabVT,
Nice plug.
you'll see us.
Yeah.
You like my
you'll see us
segue?
live.
Segue.
But also, so what you're saying is people are seeing us before we're actually talking. So this has a delay to it because it's streaming.
Yeah, you just said that, and I'm watching your delay right now as you said
That is just,
Yeah, you're delayed.
oh no.
I know.
That is just so sad.
wild, huh?
So wild. So at least the cons for getting streaming services is content is restricted by region and country. A
Yeah, it's so
provider
true.
might also not be able to carry content developed by its competitors.
Now, if you're a good computer nerd, you get yourself a VPN.
Virtual private network. I'm not sure if the FCC allows for us to talk about this, but
Of course they do.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, a virtual private network is pretty much
Talk about it. I mean,
in
they
person.
pay YouTubers big money to pitch their stuff all the time. So the virtual private network VPN address can make you appear that you're in like the UK or that you're in Australia,
Germany or wherever,
or Japan,
China,
and then you'll get that streaming services for that region.
So I mean, at that point I wouldn't say it's a major con. And one thing is like you can't get access to a lot of sports, but you can. I don't know if I'm at liberty to disclose how you can get access to such.
Oh, sure. Here, I'll readily say that
Sure.
I know of people that will go on Reddit, and you can get different links. I mean, if you're a football fan and you want to watch football and you don't have cable TV, and like me, I'm a Vikings fan. Okay, theoretically, let's say I wanted to watch the Vikings game. Well, typically when you watch television and you're in a region, so we're in New England, we're in Vermont. So if I just turn on CBS or Fox, and those are the two networks that have the NFL, I'm going to see probably the Giants, the Bills, the Patriots, the Jets. I'm going to see those East Coast teams, and the Patriots will trump other teams. So those are the games that I'm going to see. Now, if I'm in Minneapolis, I'm going to see the Vikings game for sure. This is just on television, right? Local terrestrial television. I'm going to see the Vikings game, unless of course it's not sold out. That's the other thing the NFL does. If a game is not sold out, that means that people can buy tickets to go see it, so they won't show it on television.
Really?
That's
I did
right.
not know that.
They have a blackout. So they will black out a game if it is not sold out. They don't do that with baseball, but they do that with football.
That's slimy. That is very
It is
slimy.
I understand completely. But that's what they'll do.
Yeah.
But if I want to watch a Vikings game and I'm in Vermont and I pay a cable company a whole lot of money or DirecTV and I get NFL Red Zone or NFL Sunday Ticket, whatever it is, then I can watch any football game that I want to at any time, and I can be in Burlington, Vermont, and I can flip it to the Minnesota Vikings playing the whoever, San Diego Chargers. Well, no, the Los Angeles Chargers now. God, they moving these teams around. The Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm actually pretty excited about that. That should be interesting. Having a football team in Las Vegas.
Come on, man. I mean, they're Oakland Raiders, man. That's where they belong. Look at her. Yeah. She's eating chips. You're so cute. She's cute when she eats chips. Sorry, man.
It's all right. It's fine.
You feeling the romance?
I guess.
Hi there.
God, can we just keep talking about streaming?
Oh yeah, sir. I'm sorry. I get distracted by this beautiful.
So what were we talking about? Sports. Streaming
it. Sorry. So what I could do is I could look online and see if I could find myself a web address. And a lot of times you can find it on Reddit. I mean, here's the thing. You're police of the internet, FCC of the internet. You're not going to find these people and shut them down. They will always set up camp somewhere else. You just can't stop it. The problem here is that the websites that they set up, they're usually in the UK or they're in Germany or they're in the Bahamas or whatever. And that's where the website is set up. So you can't shut them down.
Because they don't follow U.S. internet
regulations. That's correct.
regulations.
So I can find that internet address and I can pull up the Minnesota Vikings game and I don't have to pay a dime. Just because I have access to the World Wide Web. I have access to the internet.
And that's part of the brilliance to it because you can access nearly anything, anywhere.
Free information. Free information.
That's First Amendment. First Internet Amendment.
Right.
That's a thing.
So that's the thing. Streaming a sports game to someone's computer is a lot more difficult than streaming a movie, though, right? Because you aren't progressively downloading a static file. You're manipulating and interacting with a file in real time, right? If there's any lag between controller inputs and on-screen activity, then the game is unplayable. You could look at services like Skype and FaceTime as a precursor to like video game streaming, right? Because that's a thing. People do that.
Yeah.
Is they require fast two-way connections, but like the sports game streaming, it needs to be much more seamless. So that's kind of the problem with that. And so you got to make sure that you have a really good internet connection. And we do. We're in Burlington. We got Burlington Telecom, baby.
I know people use antennas still. Is that a
sure
thing? Really?
Sure. But now that's the other thing too. So like WCX, I think all the local television stations, they use digital antennas now. It used to be that they used analog.
Yeah.
And they were required to.
But what is that? What is a digital antenna?
Digital antenna is just that. It's a digital. It's a digital receiver. You're receiving ones and zeros instead of a wavelength, right? So it used to be, you had it was like a radio signal, and it was like in a wave. It was like so many gigahertz or whatever it is. And that's how you would get your television signal. And you had the antenna. And, when I grew up in Minneapolis, I mean, we had like 3 or 4 television stations. You had Channel 3, which is CBS, WCCO. You had Channel 4, Channel 4 was WCCO. Channel 5, which was ABC. You had Channel 11, don't ask me why, which was NBC, which was KARE in Minneapolis. I don't know why they call it KARE. Doesn't make any sense to me either. Care.
Care.
K-A-R-E. Cree.
K-A-R-E. I think it's K-R-E.
K-A-R-E. And then
Care.
Channel 5 was KSTP. And then Channel 4 was WCCO for CBS. But they were also a radio station too. And then there was Channel 2, which was PBS.
Yeah.
Right? Which was just the local whatever. PBS, Public
Broadcasting System.
Nerds
doing nerd things
which is what
with
we
other
are.
people's money.
Yeah, exactly. And then they had another channel. I think it was like Channel 23 or something. And that was it. That was it, dude. You had nothing else.
It's crazy how much it's changed in the past.
In a very short amount of time.
In a very short amount of time. Like,
very short
overall, it's like, it's not even, what?
But so just to get a little, since we're getting a little sociological, I mean, we talked about some science about this and streaming and the science behind it. I think, unfortunately, we have all this technology and it's given us the ability to really entertain ourselves quickly. but we don't know how to entertain ourselves, just ourselves, without these devices. You know, follow me?
Like, no, I completely do, but...
So when I mean, okay, I keep going back to when I was a kid. So
back in my day.
I mean, but seriously, you know, all it took was like a deck of cards hanging out at my parents' cabin in southern Minnesota. And like a candle, you know, and my pals and like a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos.
Candle.
Man. Well, no, like what a Coleman lantern.
A light?
Do you know what a Coleman lantern is?
Did you have electricity when you were living in Minnesota?
Some, but not a ton. But in at the cabin, not as much.
Oh, at the cabin. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you got a fireplace, and I mean, there was like a couple of lights. Yeah. But I mean, we had a Coleman lantern, and you sit out on the porch, and you got a deck of cards, and you know, you have a couple of sodas. Or they call them pops.
Sody pops.
You know, you have
some pops.
Have like a
playing some cards.
You know what's really good?
What?
Have you ever had
good?
Squirt?
That's a grapefruit. Disgusting.
No, timeout. It's grapefruit soda. It's fantastic.
So it's just like Fanta, grapefruit.
No, but it's really good.
It's did you say grape or grapefruit?
Grapefruit soda, dude. It's good. Don't knock it.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Yes.
But I wouldn't even know where to acquire Squirt.
You'd have to be in Minneapolis, I think. I think it's a Midwestern thing.
Mm.
So, anyways. You know, that's all it took is some cards and like you're hanging out with your friends and you talk about stuff like people interacting, having a conversation and not like, hey, does anybody know what the Wi-Fi password is?
Have you guys seen this new TikTok? Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
It's such a crazy dance challenge. Let's dance, guys.
Right.
Let's do a dance. It'll be really cool. My friends will love it, right? I love this song. Oh my god.
Look at the fat guy on YouTube.
Oh my god.
So nobody knows how to just like
no one knows how to just have fun.
Just be.
Or be. And I think it's just how quickly we get information and how fast we get it. And I noticed it with myself too. It's like when I'm on my phone a lot, I get bored and I get
but it's boring. But they're boring, honestly.
I guess so, but you just get it so quickly, and like when I turn to my phone, I get like this like weird like feeling where it's just like this false happiness. I guess maybe
it's totally false.
You know, it's totally false, but we perceive it as like this real thing, and maybe.
But it's not real.
Well, we perceive it as such, although it's not. I mean. If you're, I'm sorry, we're not as aware as you are, Philip. But like, at least
but
kids
you
my
are
age.
aware. You're
yeah,
aware.
no, I am. But like, I feel like not kids my age. God, I just sound
that's
like
okay.
That, but,
no, you're fine.
You know, people I know, I guess, are just so wrapped up in it, and so care so much about like internet points or you know Instagram followers or whatever, like retweets. And it's just it doesn't change anything in your
talking
real
about
world.
That too. Yeah,
you know?
the likes,
and the comments,
plugs.
and the you know.
I guess here's the thing. I don't want to knock it too much. You can go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/TeamLabVT.
You hypocrite.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
And you can tell us what you think.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would say there are advantages to it. We are on the internet right now. Okay, we are on 99.3 FM WBTV LP in Burlington. So you can hear us terrestrially. If you have a radio in your car or at home and you're in the city of Burlington, and you turn it on to that frequency, that FM frequency, you're going to get us. But then you're also going to get us on the internet.
Exactly. So if you're in Saudi Arabia or if you're in Switzerland or let's say North Dakota.
993wbtv.org. You'd be streaming us.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we're also on YouTube.
Crisp
Just
signal.
Probably better than if you were listening on
Probably,
radio.
yeah. And I'm looking at myself right now on your screen. And I'm terrified because it's not actually how I'm moving.
Yeah, that's you.
My hands are moving. But they're not.
Because it's got lag.
This is ridiculous.
It's got lag.
It's got lag.
A little lag.
But imagine, but how?
But then I see myself and I'm like, God, who's that fat guy?
Don't feel people working out so hard. I can see the difference. You look great. So much muscles.
Get the guns.
So many muscles.
Hey, honey. Got the
Stop.
muscles. You like it?
Do we need to move her to another room to stop distracting you, Philip?
Okay, sorry. Okay. But if you could see this. So we are on the internet, and that's so we are being a little hypocritical. I think there are advantages to this internet stuff. It's
definitely.
a really big, telephone pole that we're stapling our information to, and everybody gets to see it if they want to, or disregard it if they want to. And Facebook is great for that. Facebook is fantastic in terms of, hey, here's my kids, and hey, I'm going, went on this trip, and here's some pictures of this thing, and it's awesome.
But what I think about that when I see it is like, what message are you trying to communicate? Is that you have a nice family and you want people to think you have a nice family? Is that like what you're trying to do? Like,
No.
oh, you guys went to Cabo. I don't care. Are you doing it for people who didn't go to Cabo?
No, I'm doing
Or
that
why is
because
it?
my mom lives in Minneapolis and she can't live with us, and she doesn't get a chance to see it.
Well, then why
or
don't
my,
you?
or my sisters, or I also have friends when I was in the Air Force, and I have pals that live in Oklahoma, and I have friends that live in Japan, and then I have friends. I lived in Germany for 3 years. So am I going to be able to make a phone call and send? So you have friends, because as you get older, man, you're going to notice these people spread out all over the world, right? And so it's like a quick and easy way to be like, hey, this is what's going on, man. And then it's also like, hey, that's what's going on with you. Cool. That's awesome. So that's as simple as it is. It's not, look at me, look at me. I mean, I guess it's not for me. I don't know.
But it's like, I mean, you want to do it to communicate to other people what you are doing. So
This is
they
what's
can
going
check
on.
in on you. But
Right.
I mean, when you see that from someone else, do you like particularly like? Are you like, oh, this is cool, or do you think about it for like maybe a minute and be like, oh, that's awesome. I'm happy
A matter
that
of
they're doing well.
seconds. A matter of seconds. I look. Oh, cool. That kid's, or that friend of mine that I went to high school with back at Washburn High. Their kid just graduated from high school, or they won the state championships in wrestling. Awesome. That's great. Good for you.
But I feel like sometimes people you would only show the highlights, right? Let's say
highlights.
you, Philip, were going on a trip to I don't know,
Bonaire.
Yeah,
Got
that
it.
place, right? You would show your scuba footage, not this footage of you, getting into a fist fight with a homeless man. Because
I don't get into fistfights with homeless men.
I'm saying hypothetically, you wouldn't show like all the arguments you had, or like things like that.
Well, no, I think that's a bad idea.
That's a very bad idea, but it's like it's a flawed perception of how things
sure,
actually
but
are.
this is okay. So if we're talking, we got into a way different topic here, but we're getting to
different
Facebook land,
territory.
but that's fine. Who cares? So Facebook to me is a bulletin board, right?
Yeah.
It's a bulletin board. It's this is what's going on. It's not a therapist's office.
No.
I'm not going to walk in there and sit on the couch and be like, all right, let me tell you about my worst fears, and let me tell you about this homeless guy that I beat up in your hypothetical scenario.
# shucks.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, but
It's not a therapist session, and if you do need to connect with somebody in that way, I would recommend highly that you go see an actual therapist, or talk to a friend or a partner or whatever, and actually hash those things out in person. Here's some pictures. Here's a fun video, something light and fluffy. Or what I look for when I'm trying to shoot a video is enthusiasm and joy. Organic moments of enthusiasm and joy.
But what does that do? Does that just? I mean, like, no, I understand. It's like a great way to connect with people that you haven't seen in a while, like you said, like people that you know in the Air Force or that.
But it's also for me. But
like, what do you?
What do I get out of it?
What do you get out
it's
of it?
It's a logbook.
Yeah.
It's also a logbook.
It's a virtual scrapbook.
Yeah,
essentially.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that.
Okay, so Jacques Cousteau, he gave an interview back in the mid '80s. Someone asked him, "Why did you do this? Why did you create all these documentaries, and why did you do all this work in film?" And he said, "It's my logbook. It's my logbook. It's what I like doing. I enjoy that. I enjoy taking a picture, manipulating it, and making video. I mean, I just taught a class last week on video editing, video creation. I mean, I've been doing it my whole life. Been making little films and videos since I'm 12 years old, and now it's been doing it for 30 years. And I will continue to do it because it brings me joy and happiness. Because I am trying to, as I talked about in the class that I taught last week, I am trying to create meaning out of video. Through video, you're trying to create emotional meaning. Sometimes it's, how are we doing this? What are we doing, and why? To the, like, ultimate bigger questions, like, why were we even here? Oh, is something wrong with our video stream? Uh-oh. Hey, you're in here now. You want to say hi to everybody? Oh, are we? Did we stop streaming? No, you're streaming. We're streaming. Oh, I see. And there's a picture of us. some reason our picture didn't come back up. Maybe we should play a song and then.
That'd be nice.
Yeah. How about we take a quick break?
Okay.
Man, we went on a tangent.
We did. We really went off the rails a little bit.
I mean, I was okay with that.
Yeah. That's radio, man. That's radio.
I mean, it's cool. I didn't mind it.
I always enjoy it.
Did you mind it?
Not at all. I've actually really enjoyed that conversation.
I thought it was fun. Let's keep it going. We got another 15 minutes to go.
Yes, we do. We can talk more about streaming. We can take that quiz I was talking about.
All right, let's talk about the quiz when we come back.
Yep.
I will see you right in a minute.
Bye.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to STEAM Lab, Science, Technology, Engineering, Art, and Mathematics. Unbelievably so. We have 13 minutes left, so we got to take
it's
these
crazy.
quizzes.
It goes by so fast, doesn't it?
I know, it does
It's
go by
so
in a
fun.
hurry, dude.
And correction,
Yeah.
you were talking about your theoretical self, clicking on theoretical Reddit links to watch theoretical football.
Yes.
But that is illegal. That is theft of services. For my lawyer, Uncle Kenny, he's not a lawyer.
I totally
He's really
understand
not a
that.
lawyer. He's never taken law class in his entire life.
But
from what I know.
But it could be theft.
But he's well educated.
So just to understand that, I mean, like, my point is that it's you can find links out there that will get you live TV, and there's no way to stop it. There just isn't. And you can call it theft of services. You can call it whatever you want. But so we're gonna take a quiz.
All right. So if you want to take
Two quizzes.
quiz for yourself,
I'm gonna post
Phil
them.
will post the links on
totally.
the Facebook page, and Philip and I are going to take it as each individually and see what the results we get. Also, we got a question from the crowd asking, "What's the best streaming service and why?" It ultimately depends on your taste. Like, if you
That's
wanna
what do you
watch
want, man?
Disney.
Yeah, if you want Disney, then
Get Disney Plus,
Yeah,
obviously.
that's it.
But if you're interested in professional wrestling, I don't know
That'd
why
be
you're past the age of 12 and interested in professional wrestling, but still, if you are regardless,
Ooh.
shots fired because it's fake. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows that.
I don't think people. I think people are still like that's kind of like Santa Claus phase where it's like they.
Whoa, watch
they
it,
know
man.
it.
Watch it. People are listening.
Sorry, kids.
Jesus,
Sorry.
holy
Oh my
smokes,
gosh,
man.
Just dropping bombs right now. But
Chill.
there's streaming service for everything, like Hulu. A lot of great animation, a lot of great original shows, up-to-date TV shows as well. And Netflix is great for they just have a great catalog.
Yeah, I guess it depends.
television.
I mean, I think what you got to do is you got to have friends that have whatever. Use your brain. Okay,
Yeah,
so let's take some quizzes. So the first one I think we should take a look at is the New York Times.
All right.
Your streaming guide in 6 easy questions.
Ooh.
I'll read this. Now, there used to be Netflix and Hulu. Now there are Apple, Disney, Amazon, whatever. What is it? Amazon Prime?
Instant Video. Yeah.
Right.
Which comes with your Prime subscription if you didn't know.
Here's how to make sense of the content terrascope. So, which of these classic shows are must-haves for you? Choose as many as you like. So there's 6 choices. We got Friends, The Office, Seinfeld, Lost, The Simpsons. And honestly, I could care less about any of these shows. I'm sorry.
What? Really?
All right, what would you pick?
I'd pick Seinfeld.
I mean, okay, Seinfeld. I'll go with The Simpsons.
Maybe I love I think The Simpsons.
And
is such a
The
brilliant
Office.
show.
Okay,
The Office.
Friends and Lost are
Friends and Lost are dumb. Friends is a
Okay.
dumb show.
All right, cool.
Sorry, hot take.
Right.
Hot take alert.
Yeah.
Based on what you picked, get ready to find Serenity at Netflix and Disney Plus to your
That's
monthly
what I got,
TV
too.
bill. Dough.
Yeah.
Good one.
Right. All right,
Good
next
one.
question.
Okay, next question.
Which current hits are must-haves? The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. I've never heard of that. Stranger Things. That is definite.
right.
Succession. Oh, The Mandalorian. Yeah.
Mandalorian
dude.
is
Okay, so these are yeah. Okay,
fantastic.
so Stranger Things and The Mandalorian.
I
are standard.
I really
for me.
liked Atlanta. I thought Atlanta's great.
All right. I'd never seen it.
It's really good.
I have a life,
recommend
so
it.
I don't watch much TV. Turn to Netflix
Sorry,
and for the Upside Down and Disney Plus for a jaunt in a galaxy far, far away. What do you got?
I got Turn to Hulu for a trip to a metaphysical A-town, Disney Plus for a jaunt to a galaxy far, far away. Awesome. All right,
Number
next
3.
question.
What kind of cinephile are you? Are you a horror person, art house, popcorn, vintage action, anime? Well, first of all, I love horror movies, so that's me.
Me too. Big
all the
horror
way.
guy.
I'm definitely a popcorn person. And I got to go art house, man. I'm definitely art house.
I'm a big
too.
art house. I think I'm gonna pick the
Top
same
3,
things.
yeah.
Horror, art house, but I'm gonna go anime. I've been into a lot of animation
I'm
recently.
popcorn because I don't know. You know, I've given into the popcorn thing.
Really?
So you want to keep it
a
scary,
shame.
like Mandy with Shudder. So yeah, that's another thing. You got specialized streaming services.
Yeah.
So Shudder, SHUDDER.
Let's look this up. I've never actually heard of Shudder.
Shudder is a horror streaming service.
There's so many specific.
It's very
things.
specific.
That's-
But see, this is the problem though too, is because not all horror movies are going to be there. So like,
No.
I'm sure that the Friday, because it's all about ownership of
Exactly.
content. So it's not like you can go on there and be like, I want to watch all the Friday the 13th movies, which are awesome, by the way. Yes,
not
I
all
said
of them.
it.
Not all of them.
Okay, you're
maybe
right,
the
not
first
all of
2, 3, but Philip, it's subjective. Movies are subjective.
I think the first one's okay. The second one is meh. The third one is awesome. The fourth one is pretty good. The fifth one is weird. Sixth one is the best one. Jason Lives.
When you say, as soon as you say Nelson, I Have a Life, but you've seen all 6 Friday the 13th movies.
Actually, there's more than the.
Have you seen all of them?
I've seen them all. Okay, moving on.
All right, so
Moving on.
yeah, that's crazy because it's like it used to be owned all by Netflix, and Netflix used to have rights to all
Yeah,
these
right.
all this different stuff.
Yeah.
But now
Okay.
it's gone.
What's your TV obsession or guilty pleasure? Fringe culture, British, science and nature, food, Broadway.
I'm gonna have to go fringe culture.
Yeah, fringe culture for
Yeah.
me. I would go science and nature is a good one, and British.
What does that? What does it even mean? How is that? What?
Well, so
British television shows?
yeah, sure, like Doctor Who, and I mean Doctor Who's amazing.
What's the show with Idris Elba?
I don't know.
Gosh, all right. Well,
I don't remember. Anyways, okay. Well, let's see what I got.
shows.
Mystery Science Theater 3000 from Shout Factory TV, Curiosity Stream,
What? There's so many.
BritBox. So the British one, you get BritBox. So I had BritBox for a very short time because my middle daughter was way into Doctor Who, and so we had it for like probably a few months. It was only like $5 a month. Do you remember that?
It's pretty reasonable for a
That
streaming
was
service.
just Doctor Who. Doctor Who is amazing.
Never watch it. Never will, probably.
It's all right. Well, you know, if you didn't like it now, you won't like it as an adult. It's something that you got to get into when you're a kid. It is. Okay, so number 5. Who are your sports heroes? Tom Brady, LeBron James, Serena Williams, Mohamed Salah, Anthony Joshua.
You know we're going with Tom Brady.
Yeah, Tom Brady.
Tom
yeah, for
Brady,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, Tom Brady. I'd say Tom Brady, and I would go Serena Williams.
She's pretty cool.
And I'm not a soccer
Anthony
guy.
Joshua.
He's a boxer dude.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just yeah.
LeBron.
I got the two.
I'm gonna go Tom and LeBron. See what happens.
I got Tom and Serena. NFL Sunday Ticket.
And NBA League Pass for me.
They got the Tennis Channel Plus.
Oh my.
I'm telling you, they got a streaming service for everything.
Literally everything you
Yeah,
could think
everything.
of, everything
That's
that's
it.
imaginable. Okay.
All right, pick your favorite babysitters.
That's such an
Oh,
odd.
if you're a parent, you understand. You put your kids in front of the
babysitters.
TV.
Oh, babysitters. Okay.
Well, I'm going to say Sesame Street for sure. So you got Sesame Street, Snoopy in Space, Paw Patrol, Super Monsters, The Little Mermaid. So, I mean, Sesame Street, definitely.
Snoopy in Space. I think.
Yeah, Snoopy in Space, sure.
What is Paw Patrol?
It's horrible. Sheila's just made the face. She said, no, that's not good. Let's see what I got.
Never heard of Super Monsters either, but.
So, how do you get Sesame Street, Snoopy Flies Again at Apple TV Plus, and Paw Patrol Walks the Beat at Noggin? Noggin.
What is that?
Noggin remains a force to be reckoned with. What? I never even heard of it.
It's joint venture between Viacom's Nickelodeon Sesame Workshop. The Jim Henson Company also held a stake in the channel when it was launched.
Wow.
So it's a streaming service just for children's shows.
Holy cow.
So much. It's overwhelming.
It is overwhelming.
Yeah,
all right, so finish the quiz.
Okay.
So
$167
if you buy every
per
if you buy every service that has shown your choice, your bill will be at least $157 a month.
I got 167. I think I win maybe.
Holy man, holy
Golly
buckets. So all right, so Disney Plus $6.99 a month, Netflix $12.99, Shudder $5.99, Art House the Criterion Channel $10 a month. Oh, Fringe Culture, Shout TV is free. That's great. British $6.99 a month, Tennis Channel's $8.33 a month. NFL Sunday Ticket is $73 for the season. Anyways,
I can honestly take most of these off. Honestly,
let's take the other quiz.
Yeah. All right.
Okay. So this other quiz
Is money under 30?
What the heck?
Best streaming service for
So
you.
How do we take the quiz?
Maybe it's not even a quiz. Maybe it's more over just.
Oh, there's no quiz here.
Did I mess up?
I don't think so.
It said it was a quiz, but
I don't see the quiz.
Gosh. All right. Well,
anyways, that's all right.
it's fine. We took one quiz. We enjoyed
took a
it.
quiz.
It was a great
I thought that
time.
was fun.
Yeah.
Sheila, did you like the quiz? It was a good quiz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you like it?
Good.
Good quiz. She's just looking at us like we're crazy.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. No,
It's
get
fine.
the thumbs up.
Good thumbs up. That's
All
good.
right. Big thumbs up on the quiz. Okay. Yep. Because the funny thing is there's a delay. I think so. She's hearing it after the delay.
Wait. So is she?
So she's I see.
Is there a delay even out there?
Yeah. Well, she's listening to it over the internet.
Oh wait, is she listening to it on her computer too?
On the internet.
What?
Yeah. See.
That is insane.
Right. Maybe she's YouTubing it.
What?
Are you YouTubing it?
She's
Yeah,
YouTubing it. She's
YouTubing it.
YouTubing it.
So there's a delay.
Is there no speakers that come out of there that you can hear?
No, well, maybe there is. I don't know.
What?
It's a delay.
Can you hear us now? But you also can hear us on the computer as well. How do you focus?
She's not focusing right now.
Yeah, no. I mean, not even focus on this, but how does that? I'm not even going to go into details.
I mean, she's studying. I mean, she can multitask. She is a pretty smart cookie.
All right. Well, my winner for streaming services is HBO Now. Yeah, guys. Yeah. HBO Now is my winner. Not for just like TV streaming or anything else, but I feel like it has the best, not variety of content, but it has the best content on television. I think, at least. It has
There you go.
some of the best shows ever made. The Sopranos, Boardwalk Empire, The Wire.
You know, they get you. Somehow they're going to get you. They're going to get the money out of you, man.
Somehow, some way. But it's like you have to consume content one way or another, or don't consume any content at all, and just read books.
Yeah, read a book.
You know, just read a book.
Yeah, that's
I think it's
awesome.
very important to read a book from
Yeah.
time to time.
Oh, you do sound like an old man.
Jeez, back in my day.
Yeah, back in my day, by God.
But I don't know. I think it's important to just put your phone down sometimes and just read pages on a paper, on paper pages, and hold a book, and just maybe drink some tea, listen to some jazz music.
Okay, tea, jazz music.
That sounds like a perfect night to me.
That sounds pretty good. I like it. I like your thinking, man.
Yeah, it's just like it's hard to break away from the screen because once it has you, it has you. It has you in a grip, has you in a vice grip, and you kind of can't let yourself out. But moral of the story: streaming's cool. Please cut your cable. Don't physically cut it, but
Right, I agree.
call someone to cut it for you, perhaps, or just get rid of cable.
Yeah.
ISPs are evil. Get Hulu or Netflix or something, and please go outside. Just go for a walk.
And hug a cat.
Hug a cat.
And a dog.
Don't hug a cat. It'll pee on you. Hug a dog.
Okay.
Hug a dog.
And hug your kids.
Hug your kids.
And this.
Unless they're being bad, then
we are in the south end of Burlington, Vermont. This is 99.3 FM WBTV LP Burlington, streaming online at 993WBTV.org. This is the end of another episode of Steam Lab. Connect with us on Facebook, facebook.com/SteamLabVT. And get ready for Diver Debrief. It's coming up. And we will see you next time in the Challenge Zone.
In like 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a few weeks.
A few weeks.
Next time.
We first tested the Aqualung in the summer of 1942 on the French Mediterranean. But the important thing was that now the diver was free, and safety was in freedom. The diver was free. The diver was free. People protect where they belong. People protect where they belong. All of you who love the sea, help us protect her. The diver was free. The diver was free.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Diver Debrief, your weekly plunge into the world of scuba.
Help us protect.
Hi there.
Hi there.
We got Nelson, the creators, in the studio.
Second hour.
Is he awake?
Everybody. I'm not awake. You know what? I'm getting all these messages from people I know saying, "Hey, Nelson, you did a great job on the show."
Yeah,
but
it was
I
awesome.
didn't feel like I did a good job. I just didn't. Dude.
Can I say this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't let perfect be the enemy of good.
But what? Perfection is so subjective, and perfection is literally impossible. And it's like, it's just frustrating.
Can we
man.
have the therapy session in the car afterwards?
Fine. Let's talk about your silly
Scuba diving.
scuba diving.
Yeah, that's
all right.
what we're here to talk
Whatever.
about. So you and I talked about this earlier. So this show is starting to get pretty popular. I didn't necessarily get in trouble,
Yeah.
but I got an email from one of our instructors and dive masters.
Jacques Cousteau.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like if you get an email from Jacques Cousteau, and he was just basically like, "Look, dude, I like your show. I think it's fun. I think you got some good banter going there, but you better get it right." So the scuba police, I'm telling you, bro. Well, they didn't bust us. The scuba police is kind of like they're checking us out, man. They're making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing and that we're doing it right. Well,
it's a real thing. It's real. I shouldn't be joking about it.
No, it's legit. So I mean, you know, because it is just scuba diving it's a fun sport. It's playtime, but it is also a serious sport.
Okay, never mind. I'm not.
No,
even,
go ahead.
I was going to say, isn't it kind of like it's an activity? Is it a sport? Is it like?
It is an activity.
But what qualifies? Is it a sport though?
It's a sport, sure.
I mean, you're physically exerting yourself.
Yeah. It's an athletic endeavor because you got to carry equipment around and stuff. So I do have to address a couple of things that this email asked me about. One particular thing had to do with kind of like my qualifications a little bit. So just kind of like, hey, wait a second here, buddy.
He's
like,
pulling rank on you.
Well, kind of, and that was totally fine. You know who you are, and if this unnamed person, I'm not even. See, you're applying gender to it. I didn't even apply gender to it.
They're pulling rank.
There you go. We can use that pronoun. But there was a little bit of a discussion about like, hey, you know, and by the way, the email was very nice, and it was very like, I like what you're doing. I like this diver debrief thing. It's great that you're supporting the dive community. But I don't think he quite knows. See, now I applied gender to him. It's a he. Okay. I don't think he quite knows what my qualifications are.
Yeah.
Totally. He knows that I am a master diver with Waterfront Diving Center. That's the status, I suppose, the experience that I'm at, which is pretty good. But I've also been a lifeguard for almost 30 years on and off.
30 years.
So American Red Cross lifeguard, been qualified lifeguard for a long time. So I don't think that this person quite knew that. And I've also been a competitive swimmer on and off. So I've been living in the water like, you know, this water life, bro. We're living the water life, bro.
You live in the water.
So I feel like I can kind of like talk about some of this stuff.
Yeah.
In an educated way. So he did say that, you know, we should be very careful when we talk about accidents and incidents on the show. So, you know, we'll probably talk about accidents and incidents because, you know, it's good to discuss this stuff, but we're going to try and keep it just light and fun, though, too.
Yeah.
Speaking of light and fun, you want to talk about dolphins?
When do we ever not want to talk about dolphins?
I mean, that's what I'm saying. So let's talk about some dolphins, man. So on the PADI webpage, so there's a blog. PADI, remember we talked about this last week. PADI's not a person.
She's a woman.
No, PADI is the Professional Association of Dive Instructors. So they have a great blog. And I kind of wish NAUI had a good blog. So NAUI is National Association of Underwater Instructors. So PADI's got a pretty decent blog. And this one that I came across was 10 fascinating dolphin facts. You want to hear some fascinating facts about dolphins?
Sure.
Tell me about them, man.
Tell me about them.
Does it make you want to get in the water and go swim? Ooh. Can you do a dolphin? Come in. Okay. Oh my God. I literally just turned your microphone all the way down.
It was so good. You were just like, I can't compete with that anymore. You got to.
I don't know about that.
Turn that off.
So number one, nearly 40 species of dolphins swim the waters of the world. Most live in shallow areas of tropical and temperate oceans, and 5 species live in rivers. Oh, we lost our camera. Bummer.
There's the Yangtze River.
Oh, so
right?
Literally we have
dolphin?
a picture of dolphins. Don't you want to say hi? We have our video person.
I can say hi.
She's hard at work.
Yeah.
So number 2, dolphins are carnivores. Fish, squid, crustaceans are included in their list of prey. A 260-pound dolphin eats about 33 pounds of fish a day. Did you hear that?
A dolphin eats 33 pounds of fish a day.
33 pounds of fish a day.
I didn't even think they weighed 30 pounds.
33 pounds of fish a day. That's just bananas, dude.
That is bananas.
Well, it's a lot of fish.
It's a lot of fish.
Known for their playful behavior, dolphins are highly intelligent. They are as smart as apes, and the evolution of their larger brains is surprisingly similar to humans.
Really? I've heard they're very intelligent.
Yeah, no, they totally are.
That's cool.
Dolphins are part of the family of whales that includes orcas and pilot whales. Killer whales are actually dolphins. Did you know that?
I didn't. I mean, it's very deceiving because their name is whale, but they're dolphins.
The orcas.
They're orca whales, orca dolphins.
Orca, I don't know.
It's orcas.
Just orcas.
This sounds like a
Killer whales are actually super dangerous. They can be.
really.
Oh, more dangerous than sharks. In a
Is
lot
that the
of
one with
ways.
like the black and the white?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's cool. They're cool.
They are cool, but they are dangerous. Dolphins are very social, living in groups that hunt and even play together. Large pods of dolphins can have 1,000 members or more. Isn't that crazy? Pretty cool.
That's insane.
Depending on the species, gestation takes 9 to 17 months. Could you imagine being pregnant for over a year, like a year and a half?
Wow. I mean, I was in my mom's womb for 15 months, so.
You're full of bananas. After birth, dolphins are surprisingly maternal. They have been observed nestling and cuddling their young. Yeah,
That's nice.
Yeah, that's
That's-
nice. It's what you would want in a dolphin.
It's interesting to see how other species of animals show affection to
Yeah,
each other.
there you go.
You know?
I love it. We're back. We're live again. Thank you for fixing that.
Live and uncut.
We have
Debrief.
such good people here.
I know.
It's
You and
so
I,
great.
such good people.
No, not just us. We have other people that are doing the thing here, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What do you... What was that all about?
I'm saying in this room, we have such good people, you and I.
Well, you and I are in this room. That's
Yeah,
true.
it's true.
That's a good point.
All right. What other news do we
wanna
got, Philip?
are you interested in hearing more about... What do you want to hear?
Boy, am I ever.
How many do we have left?
How many whats do we have left?
How many do we have left?
What are you talking about?
Of the dolphins.
How many dolphins we have left?
No.
What are you talking about?
We have 3 facts left. I was
Okay.
seeing if you were paying attention because there were 10.
I didn't. You didn't list them off. You just-
I'm sorry. Okay, that was 7.
Okay,
so we have
all
4
right.
left. Okay, so a dolphin calf.
No, we have 3. Wait. Okay,
We have
have you
4
read
left.
6 or 7 facts?
We read 6.
Okay, so we have 4 facts left. All right, continue.
Just checking.
Yes.
Seeing if you're paying
Jesus. Oh
attention.
my, I am.
Okay,
Barely.
a dolphin calf nurses for up to 2 years. Calves stay with their mothers anywhere from 3 to 8 years.
3 to 8 years.
Yeah.
They're calves, and then they just are like, all right, you're
Yeah,
off.
I'm out. Peace.
Forever. Peace.
Teenager gone. Okay, number 8. Dolphins have acute eyesight both in and out of the water. They hear frequencies 10 times the upper limit of the adult human. Their sense of touch is well developed, but they have no sense of smell.
That's interesting. I can't even imagine that.
Yeah, no smell.
I can't even imagine what it's like to be an animal that's not a human.
Well,
A dolphin.
neither can I. Number 9.
More or less.
Dolphins have few natural enemies. Humans are their main threat. Pollution, fishing, and human mean. Some dolphin species have an uncertain future. In 2006, the Yangtze River dolphin was named functionally extinct.
Damn. And they're so cute, too.
I know, right?
Yeah, it sucks. And
Last one.
Go ahead. Just say the last fact.
All right, last one.
Yeah.
Because dolphins are mammals, they need to come to the surface of the water to breathe, correct?
Yes. True.
Unlike land mammals that breathe and eat through their mouths, dolphins have separate holes for each task. Dolphins eat through their mouths and breathe through their blowholes around the top. You've seen this before. This prevents the dolphin from sucking up water into the lungs when hunting, reducing the risk of drowning. It's a pretty good design.
Fascinating. So why do we kill them? Like, what do they have that are
Well,
useful to us?
usually, so tuna fish.
Yeah.
So they get caught up in the tuna fish nets
Mm-hmm.
because we eat a lot of tuna fish. Have you been to the grocery store recently?
Yes,
Ever had
actually,
it?
an hour ago or so.
It was more than oh, that's right.
An
Yeah,
hour and a
yeah,
half ago. Yeah, we went.
We did. Do you ever have a tuna fish sandwich?
I'm not actually a big tuna guy, you know?
Well, I mean, but if you ever do,
Yeah.
then that's kind of one thing, you know. So that's not good.
Yeah.
And just all around, just being humans, man.
So we inadvertently kill them.
Yeah,
Kill the
we're
dolphin.
just
Damn.
yeah.
It's like, they're already in there anyway, so we kind of just got to kill them.
Well, I think a lot of it's accidental,
Yeah.
you know.
Because
But I do think it's kind of funny though. If you think about it,
it's
that's
not-
like
it's not
that's like
funny,
no,
but,
the
you know.
Dennis Leary joke. You know Dennis Leary?
Is he a comedian?
Yeah, he was.
Well,
Or he
was,
is.
yeah.
He still is. He would do the like, don't eat the tuna fish. Don't eat the tuna fish. Why? Because they're killing the dolphins. Like, wait a second. Well, what about the tuna fish? We're going to eat the tuna fish because they're ugly. Who cares? But the dolphins
are so majestic.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, so that's what humans do. So there's some dolphin facts for you. That was fun, right?
So much fun.
Yeah.
What other factoids do we got for?
We're done with that. So this is the next thing I kind of want to talk about here is some products that are out there. And I don't want to plug certain products, but I can tell you about a couple of them. So, you know, one thing that folks are recognizing is when we go on excursions to these tropical places and we use sunscreen and then it washes off of your skin, it's bleaching the coral. That's not good. That's very bad,
It's very
right?
bad.
So there are some products out there that are reef safe. There's one that's called Stream to Sea. I think there's another one that's literally called Reef Safe. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's ocean and coral reef safe sunscreens. And you can use these products, and they're these biodegradable skin and hair products because they have shampoos and conditioners. You know, people just don't think about this stuff. You know, there's even like a mask defog. So I remember going to Key Largo. Gosh, I think this was like 4 years ago. And I went on this trip, and this old dive master that was on the boat, he had a small bottle of water mixed with baby shampoo. And he squirted it on the inside of his mask as a defogger. And it's great. So if you've ever been scuba diving before, one of the biggest pains in the neck is when you're down at 60 feet and, you know, you get fog on your mask. Mm-hmm. And so you want to put like a defog. You spit on it, or, you know, you can put this goop on there that'll keep it from fogging up. And actually, baby shampoo was fantastic. The problem is that it's not good for the reefs. So you shouldn't be using that stuff. So if you're doing that, don't do that. You know, get a you know, an eco-friendly mask defog. Get a biodegradable, you know, good for the environment sunscreen.
How much is like a can of it or a tube?
I mean, it's probably, sunscreen's expensive.
Is it?
Yeah, sunscreen is usually pretty expensive. I mean, it's probably a couple more bucks.
It's not too bad for saving the environment.
So I think if you get a tube of regular sunscreen, you're going to spend like $4. But if you get this stuff, it's going to be like $5 or $6. It's worth it.
It's very
it's
reasonable.
worth it. Here's the thing. Especially, I mean, the irony being you're there to see these beautiful reefs. So this stuff is washing off of your body, and it's bleaching the coral, and it's not good for the ocean. It's not good for the environment. And now you're aware of it. So before, people could say we were unconsciously incompetent. We weren't even aware. Now you know. You have been made aware. Do not use these products. And it's the other thing is it's not good for the lakes either.
No.
So get the good stuff.
The power's in your hands right now.
Yeah, just use something that's good for the environment.
Not.
You know, use something that's good for the environment. That's all I'm saying. Question for you.
Go shoot.
Is it ocean or oceans?
What? Ocean or oceans?
Right. Do we have oceans or just an ocean? It's not a trick question, man.
We have an ocean.
Just one single ocean.
Yeah. Is that true? Correct?
I don't know. What do you think?
I think we just have one ocean. No, well, there's land separating different oceans.
Are there?
I don't. Yes. I mean,
I love that I just broke
I'd have to look at a map.
I broke Nelson's brain.
No, you didn't. Yeah, fine, you did. Fine.
It's not a chin stroking philosophical like stumper.
It's an ocean. We have an ocean.
You may start ticking off your fingers what you kind of remember. So it's Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Arctic,
Mediterranean Sea. That's
the
a sea.
sea, right? But it's the central question behind there's this campaign, okay, and basically, and it's a science campaign. This came out recently, I think February 3rd, 2020. This article came out in Forbes, and really it's this idea of oceans, strictly speaking, but ocean basin. I think it's okay that we have a Pacific Ocean and we have an Atlantic Ocean because they're regional, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
But understanding that the ocean basin, oceanographers talk of a single global ocean or a world ocean as all these waters are interconnected.
So I was right. It's an ocean. It's one massive ocean.
That's the debate.
Huh. So it's not actually known.
Well, I mean, I think it's one ocean. I mean, where is it disconnected?
Nowhere.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'd have to take a look at a map, but I don't,
So the Merriam-Webster dictionary mentions the Great Ocean, which is divided into several bodies of water. The Ocean Literacy Network refers to a global ocean conveyor belt or single circulation system powered by tides, wind, differences in water density, Earth's rotational force, and the sun, and of course the moon. The moon affects our tides, which is a big thing if you like to do shore diving. You gotta have high tide most of the time if you're going shore diving. It's easier to get in and get out. Or maybe not. It depends on the situation. It depends on where you're diving. So one of the campaign's aims is for the Ocean Project to change the name of World Oceans Day, observed on June 8th every year, to World Ocean Day.
That is so stupid.
Well,
That is so dumb. You're taking time out of your day to remove a letter from a holiday, from a single letter. Why? Can't you just do other things? Maybe help save the ocean. Maybe put out more of that sunscreen that's whatever that's good for the reefs or whatever. Instead of like waste your time like, okay, let's take out this S. Let's we'll get all these people together and do that. But I don't know. I mean, I'm just speculating. I'm armchair scuba man. Never been in the water my entire life. Never swam.
yeah, I get it.
Never
I
swam.
get it. I guess what I would say here, and this is the justification, okay? I'm going to give you
Yeah,
the
okay, go
justification. So the idea is that a small linguistic change like this will, while improving scientific literacy up to something meaningful, an awareness that the world's sole ocean isn't infinite and needs better safeguarding.
Why don't you just
Well, honestly,
other
though,
things to safeguard it
you think
opposed
about
to-
it in terms of like,
yeah?
this is just the ocean, right?
Yeah, well,
it's small. It's not that big.
Yeah.
So I think that's the point of what they're trying to do here. So this gentleman, the Marine Collaboration, okay, clearly no stranger to whimsical spelling itself because it's spelled, anyways, is a key advocate of drop the S. It's produced an appropriately quirky animated video promoting the campaign. Should we play it?
Quirky. Yes, let's do
Okay,
it.
it's a minute and 25 seconds. So let's
see how quirky this really is.
let's play it, and we'll see what we get. And then I mean maybe it's dumb. I haven't even watched it, so I don't imagine there's any swearing or anything. But we'll give it a go. Drop the S.
Yes.
Okay, drop the S. It's actually just strictly animated. It's just showing a bunch of images of taking the S out of all these things. Like instead of Ocean Cafe, they're taking it's an animation of them just taking.
S's out of things. Isn't that vandalism?
They're just taking the S's. Department of Ocean Study. Department of Ocean Studies. Okay.
Wait a second.
I wonder how much money they put into this. Save our ocean. Instead of save our oceans, it's save our ocean. All right, that kind of.
Why? I mean, cool. I like it, but why didn't instead of spending probably an absurd amount of money to get an absurd amount of money
And
to
it
get
says
animators?
Earth has one big ocean with many features. What happens in one part of the ocean can infect the other parts. I'm reading what it says. Ocean literacy is an act of ocean protection that we can all take part in. Okay. There is only one ocean. Drop the S. Oceanprotect.org. I mean, okay, I all right. I feel a bit conflicted about this campaign.
I get where you're coming from, but couldn't you spend that money that you use on animators to actually help save the ocean?
I don't know, man. All right, let's move on to another topic. It's an interesting thing to discuss. It's out there. Yeah. This is what I would say. If you're listening to this show and you're like, hey, man, this is actually kind of a big deal. Okay, well, that's cool. Tell me why. Send us a message, facebook.com/diver debrief.
So I can destroy your argument.
Well, I don't know if you just can. Wow. Holy shnikes, man.
Oh, I'm here.
Wow.
Who cares about the S?
Well, somebody does. It's a big deal to somebody. So
Yeah, sorry.
But you go to facebook.com/diver debrief, or you can go to facebook.com/SteamLabVT. Send us a message.
Taking shots, Nelson, taking shots.
Yeah, just.
Sorry to wreck your fragile scuba feelings.
Yeah, I mean. Anyways, so let's move on to something else. Here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Will coral gardening save our reefs?
I have no idea what that is, but I would like to say it would.
Well, because this is the thing. Every day, more and more scuba divers are kind of joining in this effort to protect our oceans. I'm sorry, ocean?
Ocean.
Is it
please.
ocean?
Every time, so every time you say oceans, I'm going to correct you.
Okay. Protect our ocean. While this is excellent news, are all actions divers getting involved in the most helpful that we've been led to believe? So if you go on certain vacations, you can take a class where you learn how to rebuild a reef. You know, you plant some coral and you grow some coral. You're doing, you're doing this. And there's this trend and it's been filling my social media feed. Coral reef restoration programs. Many nonprofit organizations, scuba diving centers, ecotourism agencies are now offering divers the chance to participate in reef conservation programs or receive training about coral propaganda techniques.
Coral propaganda.
I meant propagation, not propaganda. Propagation techniques. But is coral gardening the solution that can save the richest ecosystem on Earth from pollution, climate change, or overfishing threats? What do you think?
I don't know.
I think what would be helpful is if some of these divers that go visit these reefs actually lift up their fins and not like kick the coral and, do a better job diving. That would be helpful.
Protect the coral.
I think that the guy that sent me an email earlier this week, who's a dive master and an instructor, would agree with that. Be a better diver. Have better buoyancy control. Don't smash into the reef. Stay away from the reef.
You have to be a good citizen of the sea, so the sea can be nice to you.
So I do think it's a good effort.
Yeah.
So to go beyond the lovely images of underwater gardens. So this gentleman in this article that he wrote, he talks about we learn to fragment and transplant, but this is not enough. So this marine biologist, Martin Conglanola, I can't. His name's Martin. After studying aquaculture and marine ecology in France, he worked with public aquariums where he learned how to grow corals. He later joined a marine species import-export business, which took him to Indonesia, exporting wild species of tropical fish and coral for publicly or privately owned aquariums. Shocked him, and he quit after only a year. However, this experience taught him everything he needed to know about growing coral in the wild, which was the springboard for him coming up with this idea of Coral Guardian, which is so it's another, there's a bunch of these organizations out there. The Coral Guardian Project, and I mean, it wasn't an overnight success. Created 8 years ago after 2 projects in Indonesia, Bali, and Taiwan, I think the Coral Guardian team learned the hard way and the challenges of coordinating a coral reef restoration program. This is what I think. I think any of these projects, you're involving the community who directly depends on this ecosystem that is protecting, is good, right? People are thinking about this stuff, and they're putting in effort. And if that's what it takes, that you're going to spend a couple of bucks to take a class on learning how to protect a reef and then plant some stuff, and I think that's all good. That's all good.
Like what can you plant? You plant like coral?
Well, yeah, you're growing it.
But
coral reefs are like they're like it's like the trees for fish to live in, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're creating a home. I mean, a really quick way to do that is to sink a few boats, as long as they're cleaned. We're going to talk about that later on in the show, actually.
Okay.
But so, when fishermen understand how a healthy coral reef can dramatically improve their livelihood, they will do anything in their power to make it a success. So that's the other hope here, is that you're going to start involving the fishermen, because, you know, why should we care? Well, more fish, man.
Exactly.
That's
More
a good
fish.
thing. More fish.
More fish to eat, maybe. Or more fish to just roam around.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
be happy.
So in 5 years, the success of Coral Guardian's third project is not measured in the total surface of restored corals, but most importantly in the return of biodiversity, 4 to 5 times more marine species, and the total number of fish, and impressive growth of more than 1,000%. Here, I got to show you some pictures, man. So this is one of the reefs that they worked on. 2015, it's just dead.
Yeah.
It's just a gray wasteland.
That's absolutely incredible.
So then the next year you see some colors coming back.
Yeah.
And then the year after that, 2017, more life you can see. And then by 2018, I mean, it's
That's absolutely beautiful. That's,
It is
the
gorgeous.
color's amazing.
well, you know, it's this is where these fish live, man. It's where they eat. It's their food.
They congregate.
It's where they congregate. Yeah, fish are social. They actually are social.
Yeah.
They talk to each other, man. They're talking to each other.
Blub, blub, blub. Blub, blub.
They say blub.
Blub, blub, blub. Well, it's the sound of like.
We're gonna get an email from the scuba police, bro.
Technically, they don't say blub. They say blob.
They
okay?
say
All right?
bloob.
They say bloob. All right.
So
Drop the U. Okay. All right?
So, so this gentleman that wrote this article, what's his name? See, it's not Martin. He interviewed this guy. Let me get the right name of the person that wrote this article. I didn't actually publish his name. No, didn't give his name for the article. Anyways, so basically, he points out that doing these projects, the project itself is one thing. That's fine. That's great to have this coral reef. Oh, she's showing great pictures right now. That's super great. Thank you for the pictures. So if you wanted to, you could go onto YouTube Live and you could see us. So we're at facebook.com/diver debrief. We got some folks watching right now. And basically, this guy points out the coral reef restoration is one thing, but it's a tool that accelerates awareness.
Very
Right?
cool.
So we're getting people to think about it with the frontal lobe, right? With this thing up front, this reasoning thing in the brain, and we're not just thinking with the lizard brain. You know, people are actually putting in some brain power and becoming consciously competent in these kind of matters, and they're actually getting involved. Like many, I hope that the coral restoration programs were the solution to protect our favorite dive sites. Indeed, they are part of the solution, but not the ultimate means to restore all damaged coral reefs on Earth. It's not the only thing that's going to do it. It's a combination of things. It's like, you know, stop using the sunscreen that's bleaching the reef. You know, don't be a selfish jerk and, you know, throw your styrofoam cup overboard, you know?
But it's just so convenient and easy for people to do that because A, it's cheap, and B, for like people throwing whatever they're like,
If you can afford
milkshake
to go on one of these trips,
yeah,
you can afford a little bit more expensive, eco-friendly sunscreen.
people are like lazy though.
Yeah, people are lazy.
And like, how do you give people incentive in order for them to actually do that?
Well, I mean, scuba divers are very good at policing themselves, to tell you the truth. As I explained to you earlier, I got the email. It was a good email.
No, I'm saying, but like, how can people at home who don't scuba, how can they make a change in their lives in order to positively affect the coral reefs and, you know, the ocean at large?
Well, I mean, you can always donate a couple of bucks to one of these organizations. There's one in
true.
particular. It's called Reef. Oh, what's the acronym stand for? Oh man. Hang on a second. Let's just turn up the tunes while I look this up. Oh, keep going with it, man. Yeah. That's good. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Reef Environmental Education Foundation. So just reef.org. And they have trips. They got it's that eco trips, you know? You can take a vacation that counts is like one of their big deals. Take a vacation that counts. Go somewhere and save a reef. And don't kick it with your fins. See, I think a big thing that would help with this is better diving. But anyways, so coral restoration programs show positive results in only 1 to 2 years, recovering reefs that have been damaged due to human intervention or climate change. However, Coral Guardians ultimate goal is not to continue recovering reefs in this way, but to convince the traditional fishermen and locals to protect the reef by showing that reef conservation can ensure their families a brighter future, which is ultimately the big lesson here.
Is not for us, but for future generations.
Future generations, but also
Yeah.
we're not trying to take away your lifestyle.
No.
Right? This isn't just some big fat American tourist flying in to, some fisherman's village and being like, hey, don't mess up your reefs anymore. We're saying, how can you make it sustainable and you can still do your fishing? Because it's your life. It's your livelihood. In 2020, Coral Guardian will reinforce the role of the Labuan Bajo project. I'm probably messing that up. As a training center in the Southeast Asia region. In the meantime, they will be launching 2 new projects in the Caribbean and in Europe to help spread their know-how while taking into account local fishing cultures. I think that's kind of clutch.
That is indubitably clutch. Because not only are you taking a cool trip, but you're saving the oceans. You're saving the reefs. You're saving the reefs.
Yes, exactly. I think that's what I'm trying to say here, man. It's good stuff. All right, so
Incredibly great.
So that's that story. You want to hear about turtles?
Yup.
The largest turtle that ever lived had a shell with horns. Check this guy out.
What the heck?
That is a big turtle, my friend.
That is a what? How? That looks like that looks like a snake. That looks like a snurtle.
Scary looking turtle, right?
Snurtle.
South America's tropical region is home to one of the world's most biodiverse hotspots, but this isn't anything new. For millions of years, the South American rainforest has fostered, what do we got? Unique fauna. Do you know what fauna is?
Plants and
Yeah,
plants. Flora is
vegetation.
Is
Flora and fauna.
Flora is aminals.
Aminals?
Aminals.
Including some of the most amazing extinct giant rodents and crocodilians, crocodiles, alligators, caimans. Do you know what a caiman is?
I know the islands.
It's kind of like caiman is like a alligator looking thing.
That's cool.
Gavials. And in a new study, researchers have enriched the continent's megafauna after they described an extinct freshwater turtle that may quite possibly be the largest to ever have lived. It lived 13 million to 7 million years ago alongside frightening giant crocodiles. Kind of glad we weren't around 15 million years ago.
Yeah.
I feel like there was a lot of scary creatures.
Stuff.
We would have just killed them anyway.
There's no Amazon Prime back then.
Yeah, you couldn't stream.
No Prime, no Netflix.
No Netflix.
No
Wi-Fi.
Not even, you couldn't, no CDs, no DVDs. You just had to throw rocks at people.
There wasn't electricity.
No electricity. I mean, it would have been kind of cool, though.
So here's the name. So the extinct freshwater turtle called Stupendimus geographicus. That's the name. Stupendimus geographicus. Inhabited in an area it sounds like something from a bad movie. Inhabited an area that today is a desert in Venezuela 5 to 10 million years ago. However, this was a humid, swampy region that was teeming with all kinds of life. Wow. Look at this shell. Oh, my goodness. This is a picture of this guy, this Venezuelan scientist. His name is Rodolfo Sanchez, and a male shell, Stupendous Geographicus, and it's bigger than him, and he doesn't look like a big dude. He looks like he's like 5'4".
That shell is massive.
No, I mean it's
that is like
he's got to be like 7 or 8 feet long.
Yeah,
that's a big turtle. Whew. Holy buckets, man! For one, Stupendimus was huge. Its carpaccia was almost 3 meters long, so it's like 12 feet, 9 feet, making it one of the largest, if not the largest, turtle that ever existed. Scientists estimate that the turtle could weigh as much as 1,100 kilograms.
What?
That's like almost 100 times more than its closest living relative.
What? That is mind-blowing.
Man,
just
holy cow.
That just kind of sends chills up your spine a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah, the 2 shell types indicate that two sexes of the Stupendiums existed, males with horned shells and females with hornless shells. It's a bad joke. Nope. Don't. Stop. I see that look in your eyes. You can stop right there. We're going to move on to the next topic. We're going to move on to the next topic.
That was a low blow, fella.
So the largest turtle ever lived. It's a big turtle, dude.
That is so cool. Like, where were the horns located? On its body?
Right on its, like, the front part of the shell.
That's so metal. So would it use the horns to, like, murder people?
Probably.
Not hurt people.
Or, like, fight whatever.
That's awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah. I know. There you go. Wait, we got some interaction here.
Really?
Maybe.
Are they saying, oh?
No, they're not saying anything yet. Just hold your horses. Okay, cool. So, hey, great white sharks. They're pretty cool, right?
Very cool.
Been in some movies.
Jaws.
Yeah. They don't behave that way, like, at all.
I wouldn't know.
So what's kind of crazy is that they don't normally, it's like a chance in a lifetime that you would ever see a great white shark. And if you did, it would go by very quickly, and it's not hanging around.
Yeah.
I mean, like the movies where you got the cage and you're chumming the waters and it's coming up to the cage and you're like, oh my gosh. That's a thing where, well, yeah, you chum in the waters with blood and fish, and like, of course, the great white's gonna be like, "Hey, food, dinner," like, so that's like a thing. And there's probably a debate amongst scuba divers into the efficacy around doing that with great white sharks. Like, probably shouldn't be teaching great white sharks that it's cool to come hang out next to our boat and be like, "Hey, food." But it's the way that a lot of people have done the great white shark dives. But typically, it's not something that happens. So this past week, off Palm Beach in Florida, there was a trip from this charter in Florida. A group of scuba divers encountered a great white shark. It doesn't happen very often.
Really?
Especially in Florida. It just doesn't happen.
Great white shark.
See, this is the thing that I think a lot of people think. So when I talk to folks about scuba diving, like, their first reaction is usually, man, no way, sharks, dude. Bro, I've seen, like, I've been around sharks, but like a nurse shark, a reef tip shark, they're very small. It just looks like a fish. It's not like
you're seeing great white sharks every time you go for a dive.
It's just not going to happen. No. I mean, like, and it makes the news. So during the dive, this great white shark, which was 20 feet long, slowly drifted by near the bottom, enabling divers to get photos and videos. And I mean, most of the divers were probably like, "Oh my gosh, that's awesome, I'm taking a video." So on average, just to kind of give you a little, like, Iggy on this, a female great white shark measures 15 to 16 feet in length. And males grow probably 11 to 13 feet. That's the average. 20 feet, that is a big, big boy. It's a big shark. So there's pretty good visibility during the dive, so it was easy for divers to get photos and video without spooking the shark. The shark had no visible satellite tag affixed to its dorsal fin, so it was not tagged. There's an organization out there called OCEARCH, OCEARCH, and they're an organization that gathers ocean data.
Is that it right there?
I don't think so.
That's only 20 feet.
No, that's not a great white shark. I mean, sharks are commonly found in Florida waters, but, great white shark is not necessarily one, unless it's hungry. Bull shark is the shark you kind of want to be freaked out by. So many on the trip were thrilled by the encounter. Here we go. This is a direct quote from somebody's Facebook page. "Today, all of my dreams came true, and I got to hang out on the reef with a great white shark. Best day ever."
Okay.
All right. And then another guy said, "Only need 2 words to describe dive in West Palm with Walker's Dive Charters today. Great white."
Great white.
Boom.
Great white. Nuts. Take off yes. Take it off. Please. Now.
Is that you that's
Do
buzzing
it now.
over
No,
there? Are you buzzing? Is that me?
Yeah. Turn off your phone, Phil.
No, I don't. Why am I buzzing? I got nothing to buzz about. So there you go. So it's not very common. I mean, I hear it a lot. Whenever I talk to folks about great white sharks. So this guy, the Captain Bill Walker of Walker's Dive Charters, said the great white shark sighting was the first for one of his charters in 27 years of operation. There were 11 divers on the trip. They were all able to get a glimpse of the big shark. When they surfaced, they were bouncing off the walls. He said the divers were in 50 feet of water. That's pretty decent. It was the second dive of the day. The first was offshore of Mar-a-Lago. Maybe they were looking for Presidente. It's Mar-a-Lago.
Underwater.
Maybe. Yeah. Dun, dun, dun. So as he said, he's been running this operation for 27 years. Never seen a great white shark.
But I'll tell you, a lot of people are probably going to go with his charter now because now that they found a great white shark.
Probably.
It's
Yeah.
probably great for business.
Yeah. But so, here's the thing, man. It's underwater. Leave them alone. Don't bug the fish.
Yeah.
I'm not a big believer in chumming the waters, but, maybe there's people out there that can, disagree with me on that one. I don't know. Are we ready for another story?
Yes, sirree.
I got a happy one. I got a fun one.
Good. Nice.
So, have you ever lost anything at the beach?
All the time.
Like what?
My little sister. Just kidding. I don't have any siblings.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, you don't have. You're an only child.
So unfortunate. But
My imaginary friend.
I had a seagull take a grilled cheese out of my mouth one time. So that's something I lost.
What happened?
I don't know. I was terrified. I believe I was crying at that moment. A seagull literally took it out of my mouth. They were so vicious.
How old were you at the time? Like 7 or 8.
This is last year.
So you were crying?
Yeah, that's right. I'm kidding. It was like when I was 4 or 5 or 6. I don't know, somewhere around there. But
so fun story. So this gentleman, it's kind of it's a heart tugger a little bit. This gentleman's name's Kevin Ashton, and he was diving in Bonaire, okay, and he wore his late wife's wedding ring on his finger for comfort, right? So like on his pinky.
yeah.
And it was his late wife, so that's like, oh man, he's a widower, he's on this dive, so it's kind of like
Already
sad,
pulls
right?
the heartstrings.
Sure, pulls the heartstrings. And wouldn't you know it, some scuba diver recovered it and returned it to him to Colorado.
Oh,
Come
so
on.
nice. That is so nice. That made my week.
I know, dude. Doesn't that make you feel good
good guy.
inside?
Scuba man, good guy.
Legend
Scuba guy.
I know. But see, scuba divers like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we went to Key Largo like 40 years ago, and one of the gentlemen on our trip, he had a GoPro, and his whole setup was like this. It was really cool. It had 2 handles on it, and the GoPro was like right in the middle, and you could like move it around like a couple of joysticks. It was pretty cool. And as he was getting into the water, he dropped it.
In the water.
He dropped it. So usually you want to clip it off, man. You got to clip your gear off, you know?
Yeah.
You got to clip good trim, when you got all this like hoses and all this stuff, you want good trim. Trim means keeping everything nice and tight so that you're not, getting hung up. And, people ask me, why do I need good trim? Because you don't want to trip and fall and rip things and rip off a regulator and break stuff and clip it off, make it clean and neat. And he dropped it in the water. And so my wife, who's super connected in the scuba world, she kind of put it out there to her friends that were they're tech divers and said, hey, challenge for you. See if you can find that GoPro. And somebody did. And they mailed it to him.
Safe and sound.
Pretty cool, huh?
Very cool. Very cool.
Scuba divers do that.
It's awesome. It's such a nice, well-knit, connected community.
It is.
Even though I know like nothing about it. From what you told me, it just seems like, if I lose something in California, it'll be returning me in Vermont in 2 days.
It's good stuff, man. It is a really happy community.
That's awesome.
So, hey,
Yeah.
there's a big project that might be coming up
Where?
in the lake.
Like Lake Champlain?
The Lake Champlain Transportation Company is offering to donate the soon-to-be-retired ferry Adirondack for the creation of a new Lake Champlain underwater historic preserve dive site. Yes, a reef.
That's awesome.
I know.
But it makes it a lot less cool that it wasn't like a ship crashing. But still cool that they're doing it.
So this ferry has been a fixture on the lake for for 65 years. It started service in 1954, and it's time. It's had its time, and it's going to be sunk in the lake. At least that's the hope.
So are they going to make it another ferry to go across?
Well, they have enough ferries, so they got newer ferries. So, so there's going to be a meeting. So I'm announcing that here. So out there, people listening, a public meeting regarding the proposed reefing of the Adirondack would be held on Thursday, March 5th, 2020, from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at the Burlington Police Department Community Room, 1 North Avenue in Burlington. So if you go to historicsites.vermont.gov, you will find under underwater preserves a link that has to do with the Adirondack proposal to reef. And they did a really good job. So the Lake Champlain Transportation Company, the ferry company, Waterfront Diving Center, and then actually a couple of professors up at UVM have done a lot of work and research on this project. They put together a really good package so that people understand, because there are folks out there that they probably think, well, hang on now. You're sinking a ship out there. What about all the oil and the gas and paint and carcinogens? And time out, folks. Just chill out.
Chill out.
They're not going to do that. They are going to sink this boat. And they answer these questions. So I went through it myself. I had to take a look at this to make sure, because, I don't want to be promoting something here that's going to be bad for the environment. And they answer these questions. There is one of the questions is, if it is decided the sinking the Adirondack is the best option, what precautions will be taken to ensure that the sinking of the vessel will not pollute the lake, which we are trying so hard to keep clean or clean up? And there's preparations of the vessel that are going to happen and that are happening. And there's a 75-page document through the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, and this is pre-Trump, so you know it's good. Whatever your politics are, folks, the current administration has kind of mothballed the EPA a little bit. So, but this is a standard from 2006. So it's even pre-Barack Obama, whatever your politics are.
So it's George Bush.
It's good stuff. That's what it is. So it's the National Guidance for Best Management Practices for Preparing Vessels Intending to Create Artificial Reefs, the BMPs. And there's a lot of data and research that's been done out there that shows that these sunk ships create great, amazing reefs for the fish in the lake.
Oh, yeah?
And so basically they're going to go through this ship with a fine-tooth comb, and they're going to use this as guidance to make sure they're not sinking a ship that's got a bunch of fuel or oil or paint.
A lot of junk. No junk.
No junk. It's just gonna be the ship, and it's gonna get sunk, and then it's gonna be a house, man. It's gonna be a big apartment building for all the fish, man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
We're
awesome.
leasing it to them.
Yeah, we're going like here, instead of like it just getting scrapped and then it becomes part of the National Historic Preserve. It's a win. It's a win.
It's a win-win. Win for fish. Win for humans.
Win.
It's
a win. So there you go. So that's when that's happening, and there's stuff posted all over the place. So
maybe post a link to that thing so people could read it.
Yeah,
I would recommend that.
There you go. So I do have one last topic to discuss here with everybody. I think it's important that we go over this too, because it is vacation season. You know what I'm saying, man?
It's what season?
Vacation season.
Vacation season. I'm going on vacation on Tuesday.
But this is it. Where are you going?
I am going home. Massachusetts.
That's not very tropical.
Oh, actually, we have a sorry to interrupt this whole spiel, but we have a correction.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
It's called. It's a the turtle is a carapace. Care a pace.
Oh, yes. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry.
I couldn't pronounce
previous correction.
Thank you. Thank you, whoever that was. Who was that?
My mom.
It's Karen, right?
Carla.
Carla, I'm sorry. I knew it was
That's all
started with a
right.
K or a C.
It's
So, what I want to talk to you about is the dangers of the resort course, or what's known as the quickie course, or the Tri Scuba.
Yeah.
So once a month, we do a Tri Scuba through Waterfront Diving Center, which is very safe. And what you do is you have this evening, you got a few hours, you go in the pool, the pool's 4 feet of water, you get to put on the vest, the buoyancy control device, you get to breathe on the air off of a regulator, and you go down. But if you have any problems, you're in 4 feet of water, you just stand up. That's it.
yeah.
No big deal. Now, what can happen though is you go on these vacations, right? And you go and you can I've heard horror stories of people being like, "Yeah, I went to Little Cayman in this outfit, Uncle Joe's scuba shack on the side of the road. Hey man, come on with us. We'll take you down to 60 feet." And they have no idea what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
They have no idea on what they're doing. And some of these courses, it's like a 2 or 3 day class that's offered at these tropical resorts. And they have like, there's, I guess this is what the thing is for me, man. You are prepping yourself, to be ready to deal with certain situations. According to Dan, the Divers Alert Network, not Dan, some random guy.
What is there's Dan?
I know,
there's
Patty now.
Patty.
About 100 people are killed while scuba diving each year,
Yeah.
and about 1,000 more are injured. Experts contend that a majority of these deaths and injuries result from unsuitable divers who receive inadequate scuba training. Okay? The major diving agencies, PADI, NAUI, offer weekend courses but specialize in 6-week or longer certification programs, which enable students to become more familiar with complex equipment. However, more people are opting to take these short classes. And here's the thing that kills me, that some of these little Tri Scubas, they can cost up to $800.
Oh my god.
Which is over twice. I think it's like $500 for an open water class at Waterfront.
So head over to Waterfront.
So why would you? But that's the thing, though. You're going on vacation, and then somebody's like, "Go do the Tri Scuba. It's only $800."
Or like, hold on, only $800 when Uncle Joe Schmo can teach you how to do it for $20 and a gift card to Arby's.
So the reason for the growing popularity with these things is simple. People just don't have the time for hours of scuba classes, so they're willing to spend a few $100 or more on this little resort course, but they're not educated and they don't know what's going on, so it can be very dangerous. Even so, you'd think that the safety risks presented by the resort courses would outweigh all other considerations. Most consumers are unaware of the dangers of a resort course and want to get certified as fast as possible. People just don't think about it. In Hawaii, I know there are several places that can, quote unquote, qualify you in 2 days. I say no way can you be really ready and comfortable and safe in the water in only 2 days.
How long would you say it takes for like a newbie to get ready and comfortable in the water?
I mean, it depends on the person.
Yeah.
It really depends on the person. So for me, I'm a swimmer. I'm a lifeguard. I would say it took me a good month of being in the water at least once or twice a week, taking these classes before I understood buoyancy. Because scuba diving and swimming are two totally different things. So, I mean, I kind of took the slow boat. Some people, they take classes that take much longer. And in these resort courses, people can they don't totally understand. And, unfortunately, every industry has irresponsible people. But I do think certification is still as meaningful as it ever was. Anyway, oh God, we only have 1 minute left.
No, it's hard to believe. Time
Holy
flies. We're talking
shnikes.
about scuba and turtles.
It was a good show.
It was a great show.
I hope we covered everything we needed to.
I think we did. I hope you're happy with us.
Can you read that thing
Mystery
over
Man?
there?
From the Media Factory in the south end of Burlington, Vermont, this is 99.3 FM WBTV LP. Burlington, streaming online at 993wbtv.org.
That's fantastic.
Period.
Yes, that's good. And you reach the end of another episode of Diver Debrief, your weekly plunge into the world of scuba. You're not going to see us for another 2 weeks.
Yeah,
I'm going
or
to Bon
so.
Air. And when I come back, we'll have lots of Bon Air material. And we'll see you
Sweet.
next time in the water.
In the water zone, in the ocean.
FM,
Yeah.
WBTV LP.
Awesome.
Burlington.
Streaming online at 993wbtv.org.